item, there could be a very large number of possible sources. Let's take an example. I want to buy a pump motor for my house. So I am searching for who are the shops which sell pump motors which can draw water from my underground sump and push it onto the overhead tank. If I start searching for sources of supply, possibly in Hyderabad itself, I may find 100 shops. And if I am sourcing nationally or globally, the number of sources will be in thousands. So before an industry or before a large organization selects a source with which they would like to do business, they would like to select them after proper evaluation. This evaluation is conducted on the basis of certain criteria. Generally, four criteria are very important. I am writing these in the chat window. The four criteria are: you can see in the chat window. The four criteria are quality, price, delivery, and service. We would like to buy from that source which supplies materials of good quality. Secondly, their price should be low. Third, their delivery should be fast enough so that our projects don't get delayed. Fourthly, they should give us good service. Okay, quality you can understand. Quality means adherence to specifications. Whatever specifications are required by me for that product, they should be able to supply the goods with the same specifications or still better. Secondly, their price should be competitive because cost is a major criterion for every buyer. Every buyer would like to economize. When they economize, if they continue to sell at the same price also, they make more profit. So that's an important criterion. Third is delivery period. Delivery period is again very important because just for the sake of a saving of a few rupees, I can't delay my project. I can't delay the supply of my products and services to my clients. So delivery is the third criterion. And the fourth criterion is service. Every supplier has to provide certain services which may or may not be priced separately. For example, the service may include installation of the items, commissioning of the machine, repairs to the machine, warranty, and so on. So, considering these four parameters: quality, price, delivery period, and service, we evaluate the vendors. After the evaluation, we select either one vendor or two or three vendors at the most. One vendor is very easy to select. You select the best one. But that also has got a negative point, because if you are depending on only a single source of supply, anything can go wrong. There could be a strike in his factory. There could be a breakdown of the logistic networks which connects his factory to your purchase location. So it is not always advisable to depend only on one source. Therefore, most professional organizations, they don't select only one vendor. They select multiple vendors. Multiple doesn't mean hundreds of vendors. They will just select two or three, so that in the event of an unforeseen problem where your first vendor fails to supply, you are not left high and dry. You should be able to tap the supplies from other sources. So this is the process of evaluation and selection of vendors. The next topic which you see on the screen, look here on the screen, methods of vendor rating. Now to understand the concept of vendor rating, remember that evaluation is done before doing business with a supplier. Rating is done after we transact with him, after he supplies the goods, after he supplies a quotation, after he does the installation and commissioning. Anything which we interact with that vendor, in that we would like to rate the vendor. Generally, this rating is done on a scale of 1 to 5. If you are totally satisfied with the service of the vendor, you give him a rating of 5. If you are totally dissatisfied, you may give him a rating of 1 or 0. These ratings are constantly compiled in your software. So next time, when you call for the record of that supplier, how do you call for the record? Every supplier is given a supplier ID or supplier code. So you will go into the suppliers module. There in the supplier ID column, you will type his ID. This ID will be either alpha or alphanumeric or only numeric. Once you type that, all the details of that supplier come on the screen in front of you. What is the name of the company? What is the address? What is the email ID? What is their website address? What is their mobile number, landline number? What are their working days and working hours? Who is the manager dealing with us? What is his mobile number? And last, what is the present rating of that supplier? Since we are always giving ratings between 1 and 5 on a scale of 1 to 5, the final rating which is computed by the software will also be within 1 to 5. So you may see that this particular supplier presently has a rating of 4.5. So this shows that he is a reasonably good supplier. If his rating improves to 4.95, he is a super supplier. He is an A-class supplier. If the rating falls to say 2.9, then something is wrong with him. There may be some internal problems for him because of which he is unable to perform well, but that tells us that right now, since his rating is very low, he cannot be relied upon for a very important product. So if my need is for sourcing some materials which I have to use in a project for Indian Space Research Organization Mangalyaan project, I will not deal with this supplier whose rating has fallen to 2.9. There, I will select only those suppliers whose rating is 4.9 to 5. Understand? This is the importance of vendor rating. Please understand the difference between evaluation and vendor rating. Evaluation is done before dealing with a supplier. Rating is computed after you start dealing with the supplier. When a new supplier joins my company, to start with, his rating will be 5.0. It doesn't mean great performance. It also means that right now his rating has not been done. So what is the moral in this? The moral is rating is relevant only when you read it with another parameter. what is the business done with this supplier. Suppose there is a supplier with whom I have not done any business so far and his rating is 5.0. That rating is not reliable. There is another supplier who is an existing supplier with whom I have already had more than 100 purchase orders and his rating is 4.8. Great. He's a A-class supplier. So this is how the vendor rating along with the volume of transactions tells us how good a supplier is. All these activities, sourcing of supplies, sourcing of suppliers, evaluation of vendors, and placement of orders, monitoring of the orders, arranging payments for the supplies made and services supplied, and finally maintaining a record of vendor rating. This is all a very routine, very, very general activity in every organization, and it is all done using software. So information technology is the backbone for purchase management. In olden days, maybe 25 years ago, purchasing was done manually. There at that time, people used to have paper files, box files, and in that they used to keep the information and documents. Many times those files were getting lost, misplaced, stolen, and so on. Today it doesn't happen because all our data remains in the server, our server, or in the cloud. That is the best solution actually. A web service like AWS. What is AWS? Amazon Web Services. It is provided by Amazon, not to individuals. It is provided to organizations. So if RG Kedia College wants to use purchase management software and that is hosted on Amazon Web Services, then any user in RG Kedia College would be able to log in, call for his transactions, see the ratings of suppliers, place a new order, release a payment for supplies made, and all that. And data doesn't remain in our server here, which can be hacked, which can be destroyed in a fire, which can be stolen. So our data remains in Amazon Web on the cloud. That is the modern method. That is the recommended method. Probably when you join an organization, and if it is a progressive organization, most probably you will be doing purchase management through some cloud web service. I mentioned already Amazon Web Service. Similar web services are provided by Microsoft, Google, etc., and also by Accenture. Now, there is one more option you have. As I told you, this whole work is done by our executives on a software. That software may be a software like ABC123 or C3 from Texas, USA, whatever. Some software you will be using. It is being hosted on a cloud and your executives are working on that. Now the next option is, why should I hire executives to do this work for my company? Is it necessary to hire executives and staff and make them do this work? Why can't I outsource this entire activity of purchase management to a BPO? After all, very good BPOs are available. Look at a BPO like Genpact. Genpact is a BPO which serves several large national as well as international clients. So, why should I have my own staff and executives to do the purchase management? I can give this entire job to Genpact or to Accenture. Yes, that option is available. Purchasing you need not do by using your own manpower. You can just give a contract to a company like Genpact. Now, you will have to make a purchasing manual. What are the rules to be followed? What is the rating scale for my suppliers? What is the minimum rating for a very important project? What is the maximum number of vendors I would like to have when I need multiple sources? Like that, these policies you will issue in the form of a purchase manual. This purchase manual you provide to Genpact. They know what is to be done. So they will have their own staff. It is basically a big call center, but this particular activity of purchase management is not a call center activity. This comes under the category of ITES. Look at the chat window. ITES. The full form of ITES is Information Technology Enabled Services. I repeat, Information Technology Enabled Services. Because this is an activity, this is a service which Genpact is providing to our company by using a software which could either be in the servers of Genpact or on a cloud. So since it is a that kind of service, it is one of the ITES services. There are many other ITES services also. For example, hiring of employees. Yes, they do that also. Another could be market research, etc. So this is what I wanted to tell you in the overview of purchase management. Okay. Now over to the next topic. What do you read on the screen now? Stores management. Stores management. What is a stores? Stores is any place where you keep the goods. Dear students, no organization, no trading organization, no manufacturing organization, no service organization, not even a catering organization, and not even the kitchen of your mom can work without a stores. Get me? That is the importance of stores. So now I will show you some stores. What are you seeing on the screen now? This is a store. This is a store in which so many materials are stocked. This is one rack. This is another rack. In this photograph, you are seeing only two racks. But in reality, this is a huge shed in which there may be 50 such racks. On each rack, there are so many levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 levels. And the height of this rack may be something like 4 meters. Your hand will not reach the top. If you stand on the floor, your hand reaches only up to the second shelf. The rest of the shelves are much above that. And on each rack, you are seeing so many compartments, 1, 2, 3, and so on. In each of these compartments or in each of these bins, one type of material will be stocked. So the store's manager knows which material is stocked on which rack and which level and which bin. So when he needs a particular material, he accesses that information from the warehouse management system software. This software is different from purchase management software. There are so many software providers who provide warehouse management system. SAP, a German company, is one of them. Microsoft also provides. Oracle also provides. In fact, the best warehouse management system, everyone says, comes from Oracle. So, in these warehouse management systems, detailed information is stored in a database which tells what are the materials we have, what are their material codes or material IDs, what was the opening balance, how much quantity was received, how much was issued to users, how much is the present ground balance, and on which rack, in which bin, at which level that item is stored. So there is a particular item, let us say some chokes for an electrical circuit. I need them now. They are available in the rack which you are seeing on the left on level number 5. So my forklift crane, this is a forklift truck. It has got a crane and this crane has a fork. This fork is raised up to level 5. The fork is inserted. The box is kept on the fork. Then the fork is brought down and this truck is driven to the place where there is a conveyor belt. This forklift truck will keep that carton on the conveyor and then that item will be given to the user. So this is a store. I just now mentioned a short while ago that in your house, even the kitchen cannot work without a store. You cannot buy sugar, wheat, rice, salt, chilies every day in the morning. No, it's not possible. It's not convenient. Your mom has some schedule. She buys atta once in 15 days, rice every week, sugar every 3 weeks. Once those items come, they have to be kept in a store. They have to be kept in such a way that the items don't get spoiled. Sugar, for example, you will not keep in an open polythene bag. You will be putting it into a box where the lid is tight enough and ants cannot get into. Correct? Suppose eggs have been purchased. You cannot leave the eggs on the dining table. By tomorrow morning, when you are trying to make omelets, the cat would have already eaten the eggs. So, eggs have to be stored safely, properly in the egg rack of your fridge. You will not keep them in any other shelf because there Some other item will hit the egg. The shell will break. You will not be able to eat anything, but the whole fridge is going to get dirty. So, not only you should store things, you must store them in such a way that they remain available when you actually need them. Look at the screen now. What you are seeing is a very great store. This is the warehouse of Amazon. Amazon has got a huge warehouse in Hyderabad. It is totally automated. It is very large because the number of items which Amazon keeps, they are very large in number. They run into lakhs of varieties. So you can see in this warehouse, there are so many bin locations, and the end, this place is not even visible on the photo. It is so huge. So when an item is required, it is automatically taken from the warehouse. Let us say the item is lying here on the right side of the screen. When the command is given from the computer outside, that material moves on the chute. It comes out like this on the chute, and goes on to the conveyor. There it is taken to the place where it can be packaged and given to the courier for delivery to the customer. So after your MBA, suppose you are among the very few lucky persons who get a job in Amazon, it's quite possible that you will be made responsible for some such warehouse. So you will be actually seeing this warehouse. You will be seeing the automated operations. Let's hope that you are lucky enough to get a job in Amazon. But right now, just remember that stores is an integral part for trading. No trading is possible without store. Manufacturing. No manufacturing is possible without a store. Servicing. Yes, even a servicing organization has to keep spare parts, consumables, and so on. They also need a store, and even a catering establishment. Think of a catering establishment like Paradise Restaurant. Paradise will store so many things. They will keep chicken, mutton, rice in their store. So even they need a good store. Therefore, stores is a very, very important activity in all organizations, starting from your mom's kitchen. After that, every trader, every manufacturer, every servicing organization also has a store. So, in your syllabus, what do we discuss about stores? Look at the screen now. What you are seeing is the content of unit number 3. So, the next subtopic is functions of stores and material control. What are the functions of store? As you can guess right now, the first function is to receive the materials. When the materials are supplied by my supplier, I have to check, is it from the same supplier whom I gave the purchase order? Is it the same material that I ordered? Is it the same quantity that I ordered? After I verify all that, I accept the materials in my store. This is called the receipt function. Receipt of materials. When materials are received, stock level goes up. Let us say the original stock level was 1000. 2,000 quantity was supplied. The new balance will be 3,000. Then a user comes. He gives a material issue requisition. He wants 500 quantity to be issued to him. I check. Does he have the administrative authority to draw this material and so much quantity of this material? If both the answers are yes, I issue the material to him. This is the second function, issue of materials. When materials are issued, stock level comes down. The opening balance was last time 3,000, 500 numbers issued. So the closing balance is shown on your screen as 2,500 numbers. So first function was receipt. The second function is issues. Receipts increase the stock balance. Issues reduce the stock balance. So the third function is accounting of materials. Dear students, accounting of materials is much more complicated than financial accounting. Why? Understand that now. When you are dealing with financial accounting, all your figures in debit and credit columns are in rupees, same currency. But for each material, the unit is different. Cables are counted in kilometers. Cement is counted in number of bags. Glass bottles are counted in dozens. Liquids are measured in kiloliters, like diesel, petrol. Gases like LPG, they are purchased and consumed in kilograms. Coal is purchased and consumed in tons. So here we don't have the same unit for everything. The unit goes on changing with the material. Whenever you are receiving or issuing, the correct unit has to be selected. Second point. In financial accounting, the value of 1 rupee always remains 1 rupee. Correct? It will never change. But in material accounting, 1 liter of petrol was 79 rupees last week. This week it is 80.5 rupees. Next week, government may increase it to 83 rupees. So, the value of the same unit, same quantity is changing all the time. Therefore, with all these complications, when we do accounting, that accounting is material accounting. So now, the third function of store is material accounting. First was receipts, second was issues, third is material accounting. The fourth you are seeing on the screen now, classification. We have to classify the materials so that similar materials can be handled similarly, and any special facilities which are needed can be provided for them. Now I am giving you a list of say 5 kinds of materials. 5 materials: petrol, diesel, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, CNG, and lubricating oil and kerosene oil. What is the similarity among all these? All these are petroleum products. They are all inflammable. They have to be handled very carefully. You must make sure that they are not in a place where nearby there is stock of stationery or paper or timber. These petroleum items are all inflammable. When they catch fire and a huge quantity catches fire, there will be explosions. So people who are nearby can get killed. Therefore, all these items I classify as petroleum products, and I create a separate store a little far away, removed from my factory, which is not made of timber or wood. It should be made of either concrete. The doors should be made of grill, iron grill. The roof should be either RCC or it should be asbestos, which doesn't catch fire. And there should be firefighting equipment available all the time. How I was able to do that? Because I classified them properly. Similarly, I would classify electronics items separately, electrical items separately. Electrical items also need care. I have to protect them from moisture. Moisture is the first enemy. Moisture leads to short circuits. Short circuits lead to fire. Fires lead to deaths and accidents. So I would have another classification called electrical and electronic items. Like this, when I classify all the goods in my store, that activity is called classification. One more we will talk about and close today's class. The next you see on the screen is codification. Just now I showed you an Amazon warehouse where lakhs of items are stored. No human being can remember the names of these items. You have to give them codes. These codes can be of three types. Alphabetic codes. Alphabetic codes use letters A to Z, capitals, and small letters. So you have 52 letters. With that, you make a code. Second kind of coding is numeric coding. Here you have 10 digits, 0 to 9. So you will have a code which is made up of digits 0 to 9. The third code is alphanumeric code, where I have 52 letters and 10 digits. So 62 characters can be used. Now, if my code is numeric, since I have only 10 digits, the code will be longer. More digits have to be used. If it is alphabetic code, the code length will be smaller. If it is alphanumeric code, the code length will be still smaller. Therefore, it is always preferable to have alphanumeric codes. Once the code is there, each item is uniquely identified. When a supplier supplies the material, I just enter the code and accept the material. When an issue is to be made, I just enter the code and retrieve all the information. This activity is called codification. Dear students, this topic is not yet over. I am closing today's class. In the next class, this topic will continue. If you have any questions, please shoot.
No, sir.
Okay, if you have no questions, no problem. I am closing today's class. Thank you for attending today's class. Thank you, Afri,
Thank you, sir.
Aisha, Vinod, Naushin. Please attend
Thank you, sir.
future classes also. You may
Yes,
log
sir.
out
Definitely.
now.
Okay, sir. Thank you.